Welcome back here to Borio's 8891 McDonnells Parkway in Cicero, New York. Here with Rob Drummond of Syracuse, the NFL and the CFL, the man who created RAPS, a system that takes kids all throughout the country and outside of the country, puts numbers together in a hurricane score is what it's called, and helps those kids find out what they need to do no matter what sport they play, whether it's softball, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, hockey, basketball, football, whatever it may be, helps young athletes get better so they have an opportunity to potentially be somebody that we talk about here on the show today. Rob Drummond doing so many great things in the community, born and raised here, as was I. So I appreciate all you fans out there in the Central New York community and everyone outside of Syracuse and Central New York that's watching for everything that you've done. I've been very blessed to be in over 10 states, cover teams from all over the place, and as much as there's some of those crazy fans out there, the majority of you are wonderful, and I cannot thank you enough for what you do. So thank you, we appreciate it. Here from Borio's, every single time you log into this show, you get an opportunity to experience it with us, but you have a better experience by coming to 8891 McDonnells Parkway in Cicero, New York. We're talking about the defense. Linebackers are next up. Cameron Lynch is on the outside. Dyshawn Davis is opposite him at that linebacker position, not just there, not just on the defense, but on the team as a whole. If the question went to Scott Schaefer at the beginning of camp, who sticks out to you? After showing everybody Orange Fan Fest and letting them see who stuck out to you. Later on, who sticks out to you? Two names have never changed when Scott Schaefer was asked the question, who is sticking out to you on this team, who is making a difference, and whether it's offense, defense, or special teams, two of those names have always been Cameron Lynch and Dyshawn Davis. Why do you think so?
I mean, I think Lynch and Davis, if you take a look at the defense as a whole, and not to get early into the secondary also, but for me, defense goes straight up the middle. The strength of the defense goes straight up the middle. As soon as they light a linebacker, because Marquise Sproul's gone to the NFL to greener pastures, but you take Lynch and Davis, you put them both on the outside, and the Darrell Eskridge in the middle of that safety spot, unbelievable. I mean, the Bermuda Triangle basically in there. And those guys just understand the position. They fly around, they make plays, they're not afraid to make tackles. They've got experience now, so it doesn't surprise me at all coming out of training camp. But those two guys are the most talked about guys, not just at the linebacker position, but on that defense.
Talked to Cam Lynch about Dyshawn Davis, and he said it speaks volumes to the both of them that when Dyshawn came in, he was backing up Dyshawn, and he felt like he was talented enough to be out there and contribute to the team. So he said to have Dyshawn in front of me and to know what he could do was to show the depth of this team. Now they both have an opportunity to be out together all the time. What can that do for the team now that Cam has raised his level and Dyshawn's continued to raise his level, that they're both going to be out there with an opportunity to affect both sides of the field?
You know what? It's like I always said, even with me and Michael Owens when we played back in the late 80s, you know what? If you have a teammate and you have the same position as you bring out the best in one another. And those guys go out there and they're very, very good friends. So it's not a competition against one another to outdo the other one, but it's a competition for them both to get better. When Lynch wants Davis to get better, he works hard, Davis gets better, and vice versa. So it's a competition amongst players, a friendly competition for them each day to go out there and get better, and that's going to prove very well for Syracuse in the future.
Right in the middle of the defense, or middle of the linebacker core, is the middle linebacker, that Mike position, and that's Marquise Hodge. Marquise came onto the team last season. This is only his second season with the team, but in the spring, Hodge was the name. As we continue to go, that number 33, folks, you got to get to know it. Marquise Sproul isn't here anymore. What does it say to you that Hodge has been so successful in camp, in practice, in the offseason, to have this coaching staff give the keys to this guy who only had last year of experience behind someone who was the main show?
You know what? It tells me that Hodge has an inquisition ahead of him, It's trial by fire, but he's got to get in there and replace the shoes of someone who basically started every single game his college collegiate football career, ran around, made plays, he's in the NFL right now, was never injured, blah, blah, blah. We can go on and say this about Marquise Sproul. For Hodge now to step up, it's going to take a daunting task by him, but I think this young man, he needs a training camp, proving that he's capable of filling in the shoes. As I always said before, and I keep saying, Coach Mack always says, the game of college football and football is about Out with the old, in with the new. New guys have to step up. New guys have to make plays. That's how stars are born.
When you know that the middle linebacker position is not someone who's had no experience, but someone who wasn't a starter compared to two guys who know what it's like to start, when you put that whole group together and you know that when you know that you have that opportunity to have two guys on the outside that are veterans, but then have the newer guy inside, is that a better situation? Because the Mike position is the quarterback of the defense to be a middle linebacker, but he's going to be flanked by two veterans. So is this an ideal position for him?
You know what, honestly, there's no such thing as an ideal position in football. It'd be great to have all seniors out there, but with the game, the way college football is played, it's never going to happen like that. So you have to make, it's just like playing a hand of cards. You have to make the best of the hand you're dealt. But right now, these young men have to step up and just deal with what the cards they've been given. I think they're all capable. The two outside guys, Lynch and Davis, basically go out there and be themselves. And that's all they have to be. All Hodge has to do is just play within the scheme, play within the system, and feed out those two young men on the outside. They're going to make things happen because the linebacker position is one of the most active positions on the collegiate football field. And as long as they go out there and make plays, as long as they go out there and fly around and have fun, as long as they go out there and play Syracuse football like it was played in the past, the present, and the future, they'll be fine.
Looking at the past, the present, and the future, when we go back to the past, we know in the present that they made strides. We know that they want to have a better future that's similar to that past. When you think about what Dyshon's done and what Cameron Lynch has done, their style of play, their speed, their ability to get off the edge and get to the quarterback, do they show you signs of what Syracuse football used to be and can be again?
You know what? They showed me hurt. I always say one of my favorite SU football players from back in the day is Doug Hose. Everyone says that, but he's a younger guy. He played defense. He played this. But I was like, you know what? I look at myself when I play, and I see a lot of myself in Doug Hose. That he basically went out there, played with heart, played with desire, played hard, played to the left, played to the whistle, and played with desire. I see the same thing in Cameron Lynch. I see the same thing in Dyson Davis. You know what? I spoke at a function probably about a month ago at a school in Syracuse, Levy Middle School. And he happened to be there. He happened to be there with a couple other SU players, and they were sitting there with one class of kids. And I spoke, and then they told me who the players were, and I didn't recognize them on faces. I'm so used to seeing them with their helmets on. Yeah. And they told me who it was afterwards, and I stood next to him, and I was like, wow, this is a pretty big kid. I'm a pretty big guy. And I stood next to him, and he's a pretty big kid. And I was like, wow, this guy can move like that, and he plays like that. But he's the same player that when I watch him football game, plays with heart, plays with desire, plays like as if they love the game. And that's the best way I can put it. I can sit here and tell a guy who loves the game of football just by how he plays, just by how he approaches the game, just by how on every single play he never quits. And these guys play like that.
Big words for the linebacker core. You've heard it, gentlemen, so it's up to the Syracuse core to go out and live up to that. Dyshon Davis has done one heck of a job. So has Cameron Lynch, as he's fought for that starting role and really is a success story of coming from what's he going to be to now leaning on him a little bit. Marquise Hodge, another guy that's just worked his tail off to be where he is right now. And Paris Bennett, he's a true freshman, but the coaching staff's liked some of the signs they've seen from him. Scott Shaver said he's going to be a pretty good player as he continues on at Syracuse. We'll continue on here from Borio's, 8891 McDonnells Parkway in Cicero, New York. Talked about linebackers and the defensive line here on wakeupcalldt.com and youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. We're going to be talking about the secondary coming up with Rob Drummond, Syracuse, NFL, and CFL alum, and myself, Dan Tortora, your local sportscaster, regional sportscaster, national, and I went international a little bit on some of these people. So getting out to Canada, Germany, I thank everybody, the Netherlands that has listened in. So thank you for all your love and support. We'll be back here from Borio's.